Hey everybody, gamer geeks. Welcome to my first ever build YouTube video. This one here is the pet build. It's actually a summoning build. There is no mana required for this build. Big shout out to Anthony Evans for his help with this. This one here is really quite simple. There's no real set gear required for it. I am, of course, a little over 600 on Paragon. I've been at this for about 2 years, so this is my first one. Again, the first thing we're going to need is the Dagger of Darts. It's pretty useful. I use it with just Poison Dart for my skills, but getting back to the inventory here, the Dagger of Darts is the best one to use. Let's go through these skills real quick here. So I use a primary. You can use zombie dogs. A lot of people are calling this the poison hound or the hell hound or what you want to call it. The hounds do hit really hard, but we're going to be definitely doing the summoning of the fetishes or the fetish psychophant build with this. But the pets are back and they are badass. So getting back to the gear, we're going to go with the Dagger of Darts. Eventually I'm going to move on to something else here because I had to separate with the PlayStation 4. I have to do it separately, so it's not like a computer. So this one here had lightning. I guess I could reroll it for poison, but you're definitely going to want your intellect. You're definitely going to want your critical hit. A Tasker and Theos, you're going to need them with critical hit and the pet attack speed. Those are just a must to have. As you can see, I'm not going to have a lot of set items in here. Everything's going to be, for a specific reason. So we're going to move in the shoulders. You can use pretty much any shoulder you want. I just use the pauldrons of the Skeleton King. I can get the Fetish Army damage up to 14 to 15% if you re-roll it. As you see, I re-rolled that one several times. But anything that you want to put across your shoulders, your chest, your head, or your helm, wherever you can get I think you can get it in your boots too. Qualicurus, this one here, why I chose this one here is well above 95% primary resource. All damage taken is reduced by 50%. Guys, that's huge. And you see why, because you get to stack that, and that's really important to have. So we want to do damage reduction. This is kind of a carnival build. You don't have to have this helm, but this helm is really helpful for the 5 fetishes closest to you. Shoot a powerful poison dart. That helps you proc one of your passive skills. We'll get to that. Everybody's kind of used to that passive skill. If you're used to witch doctors, you get to reduce your cooldowns just by doing damage. So, but of course, the Carnival is something that you might want to use. The next part of this build is going to be the Hellfire Amulet. The Hellfire Amulet, everybody knows how to get that. You can get the recipe from Squirt. This one here, I have it socketed with the Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. Of course, this is the highest ranked gem I have right now. But the big perk of this is you get the Fetish Psychophant, which it gives you that extra passive. Which just really helps the build kind of come together. But again, it's just got this different, intelligence and damage. But I guess the perks are what you're really looking for. And then, of course, whatever gem you want to use. I use the Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. Would be my recommended gem for this amulet. The bracers. This one, of course, again, intelligence. Roll, resist all, whatever critical hit damage if you can get that. But the ones here, these reduce damage taken by 6% for each attack, or for each soul harvest that you have. You could use a Sacred Harvester if you wanted to with this build. It'd be just fine. This one here gives you an extra 35, which gives you 85% reduction, so it stacks with the Qualicurus, as you see here. So, 50 plus 35. So not bad, The Usurking Serpent, this one here, 25% all damage. So you're going to go over 100% damage reduction just because 25% is going to be redirected to your zombie dog. You're going to be using the Tall Man's Finger. The Tall Man's Finger in this build. And why that is important is you're just gonna have the big one zombie dog. But the bones of this right here is this set bonus right here. These two rings, the Litany of the Undaunted and the Wailing Host, you want to have these. The roll doesn't really matter, but look at the perks on here. You want to stack as many ancient items on your character as you possibly can. 10, 12 if you can, because you get 100% per ancient legendary. So that really helps. And then you get a 4% reduction on top of that. So some more damage reduction. Really good. Swampland Waiters because of the poison. This would be a poison build again. I could reroll my Dagger of the Darts, but I just haven't got to it yet. The Witching Hour, of course, attack speed, vitality, intelligence, critical hit damage. These are the things you want. So pretty good little count, but not a lot of set items, just the rings. I'm getting back into the skills. Of course, you're gonna use Poison Dart, Snake to the Face. It really procs the fetishes. I find that it procs it probably the best, one of the best. Of course, we're gonna use fetishes, Legion of Daggers. We're gonna use Soul Harvest. Just pick one, whatever one you like. I use Vengeful Spirit just for the little extra damage. There is no mana required, so you don't need to have anything that's going to require, returning mana back to you. This is going to be just no mana. Of course, Big Bad Voodoo, Slam Dance, Zombie Dogs. Just pick one. Rabid Dogs. We're doing a poison build, so I chose the poison one just so the dog would be poison. And then moving into your passives, of course, going to have Confidence Ritual, always a must. The next one is going to be Midnight Feast. Confidence Ritual, you deal additional 25%. Zombie Dogs, this is going to give your zombie dog 50% more on the 3 times more powerful that he already is from the new patch. So, yeah, Zombie Dogs is a must. Midnight Feast is a must. And then moving on to the powers. Star Metal Kukri. I use that just for the cooldown of the Big Bad Voodoo, Mask of Joram, and the Tall Man's Finger. The Mask of Joram gives your pets 100% more damage. So, again, more damage doubling. It may not show up in the numbers so much, as on your attack, but you'll feel it for sure. And then you're going to have Midnight Feast, I believe, is going to be our first or a third passive. Grave Injustice. Gain 1% of your maximum life. This is the one where you can use your fetishes and you shoot your darts, and it'll actually, it'll knock the cooldown so fast on everything. Everything just is returned back to, ready to go is so fast. The last one would be the Midnight or Peace Surveil. Another 20% buff on your damage, and you don't really have to worry about the decrease in mana because, of course, boom, we're not doing mana. So we're gonna run around here a little bit. Let's see what's going on over here. So I guess we should probably do. Let me show you we can solo. A level 60 Rift. So I have one key available. So we're gonna go ahead and pop in here and see what we can do. This will be my personal best here shortly. If we can do a level 60, we'll see where we're at. Alright, so we're gonna start off. We're gonna bring up our fetishes. Bring up our zombie dog. Start seeing if we can proc some better sycophants. A little soul harvest, a little back and forth, get going, and you're pretty tanky, so you're not going to lose a lot of health. You have a lot of damage reduction. You're going to want to go ahead and die, just dodge some stuff. Okay, we're moving back in with this elite right here at the beginning. I'm getting a little bit behind here, but all in all, it just, once you build up your sycophant army, you're going to have well over 20 of them, roaming around. Just keep, it's going to cool down so quick. You can just keep popping your fetish army. You can keep popping your Big Bad Voodoo. You can keep popping your Soul Harvest over and over again to keep those buffs up. The damage buff up, the damage reduction buff up. It's just really good stuff here. So as you can see, I'm just melting through it. You have to get caught up. I'm a little bit behind here, but yeah, it doesn't take long to take care of these elites. Electricity seems to give me a little bit of a trouble. Poison doesn't really bother me. Fire doesn't really bother me, but So we're gonna speed it up here a little bit and get all the way on to the Rift boss here shortly. So, and away we go. Wow, so I wound up being 4 minutes ahead before when the Rift boss was there, so I have, I was able to catch up and actually, once I got my my finishes procced and I got all my buffs in place, I was able to, kind of get ahead of the game there, So, of course, again, this is solo, so it's going to be a little bit easier than it would be if I had, 2 or 3 people, or if I was carrying some people through, because sometimes, carrying some lower level people through, but, not a bad little haul. Personal best, for my character, level 60. So I see that this build could actually get even more powerful as I start to augment my gear. I see no reason why here shortly I shouldn't be running them, in the 70s and the 80s. So as I get these gems leveled up, I'm gonna again probably end up augmenting them into some of my gear, which you can augment up to 13 times. I think that's incredible. So this should be probably try to put together some more builds for you guys, but for right now this is one of my favorite. This is the pet build, the pet summoning build. Some people call it the poison hound build, but it's a pretty darn good build. It's really powerful. Patch 2.4 has brought back the pet build, and I couldn't be happier. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe as usual. Not a professional at this, so hope you enjoyed.